Some very special Hollywood history lives on in Evanston. One of Northwestern's most well-known alumni has left his archives to the school.
In tonight's special report, our Jake Hamilton has details on how you can check out some really cool items from Garry Marshall's memorable career.
Before he directed some of the most iconic movies to ever grace the silver screen.
My job at Northwestern has been to acquire archival collections of possible research value and certain interest.
Before he created some of the most iconic legendary series ever broadcast on television.
I just hope for your sake that you're helping my good friend up to his feet here.
My goal is to document the history of the industry through Northwestern people who have distinguished themselves in television, on stage, or in motion pictures.
Before he was a writer for some of the most incredible talents in pop culture history.
A chaperone? I can't see any harm in being alone with Mr. Benny.
Oh, I wish you could.
We do have a lot of alumni who have gone on to big careers.
Garry Marshall was a kid walking around the campus of Northwestern.
He's a Northwestern University alumnus, very active as a student in a variety of ways, and then he became a very loyal alumnus and supported Northwestern.
Writer, director, producer, and actor Garry Marshall is one of the most beloved and cherished names in both Hollywood and right here on the Northwestern campus. Before he became one of the most successful storytellers in Hollywood, Marshall wrote sports columns for the Daily Northwestern. He graduated with a degree in journalism in 1956.
Here is his Northwestern diploma.
All the more reason why university historian Kevin Leonard worked tirelessly to convince Marshall to gift his personal collection of everything from scripts, wardrobe, and various Tinseltown treasures to Northwestern.
Mr. Marshall was a person I'd hoped to get into the collection. You never know whether you will or not when you talk to someone, but it was a real thrill when he said yes, and a real privilege to go and to meet with him and the family and to gather the documents. He was very good at saving, creating records of his life, creating scrapbooks that documented almost a day-to-day type of existence. So it is a large collection and it is a detailed collection, and you can pretty much write the biography of Garry Marshall from this material.
2 school bus lengths worth of documents, a cinematic sanctuary of priceless Hollywood artifacts that cover his career from writing for The Tonight Show, The Lucy Show, and The Odd Couple.
The face with a smile is the voice with a smile. You better get out of here before I break both your legs.
To creating iconic series like Happy Days, Mork and Mindy, and Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, so very wise, Laverne. I read it in a bazooka comic.
To directing Hollywood favorites like Beaches, Pretty Woman, Hocus Pocus, Never Been Kissed, The Princess Diaries.
The neck is seamly.
He's a favored son of Northwestern, so he is a beloved character at this institution, and generations of Northwestern people have been involved with the Marshalls or the children or the grandchildren. It's almost a personal level tie to the family, so it's great to have that, but it's also great in a research library like ours to have material that very clearly documents how television programs get made, how movies get made.
From scripts and scrapbooks to storyboards and photos, many with handwritten notes in the margins. Marshall's genius as a comedian and storyteller is recognizable in an instant. It's Hollywood history right here in Evanston.
One of the prize items in here is a set of storyboard drawings, original pencil storyboard drawings that lay out how the scenes for the famous movie Pretty Woman would be shot.
Garry Marshall passed away in 2016 at the age of 81. But I have found, in my own years of doing interviews, his legacy continues on.
Who was the person in your career who helped you become the actress you are today?
I've been really lucky. Makes me emotional. I've had a number of people who have taken an interest in me and supported me. I could name them all, but I'm just going to go with some of the bolder named ones. Garry Marshall.
But even if you weren't lucky enough to meet him, his collection and his legacy will continue to live on at Northwestern for anyone who wants a glimpse of pure genius. and just where it came from.
I also hope that it serves as a magnet to other people who have been in fields similar to Mr. Marshall's, that they will see what Northwestern can do with these collections, that we can make them available for study and research, and hopefully make the world a little bit smarter whenever people use these things, and consider Northwestern for their own archival material.